Hey guys, back again for session 2, and today I have a tip for you. But I just want to make sure that you should not be watching this video if you have not written at least one story about your character. Have you done that? Awesome. So I want you to grab one of them and have that in front of you because I'm going to give you a tip today. And every time that you write a story moving forward, I want you to think about this. So the tip is about the setting. So writers can imagine settings and put their characters into settings that they know and they love, places that you have been. Favorite spots, the school, the playground, the soccer field. For Mrs. Bird, it's the woods where I grew up. And when we do that as writers, then we can really picture it in our mind and then use those words to describe the setting for our readers. And it really helps to bring our stories to life. So I'm going to click to my story. Here it is. And I want to see if I can find a place where I can do a better job of describing the setting. So in my story, I say one day Lily was playing outside in her treehouse. So right there, I came right out and told my readers where my story is taking place. But I just said outside in her treehouse. I don't do anything to describe what that looks like. I didn't use any of my senses. And so that's what I want to show you today, readers, is that you can close your eyes and picture the setting of your story. And I want you to pay attention to what do you see, hear? Are there sounds? Are you touching something you could describe? So when I close my eyes and I think about outside on this day, there's a bright blue sky. The weather is nice and warm. And so I'm wondering, where can I write that? And I think maybe right here I can do a better job of describing that for my reader. So I'm going to go get my tools. I got to move this out of the way. And I think I'm going to put it in a different color, maybe blue. We'll see how that shows up. Make it a little smaller to fit. Remember that you can use a different piece of paper, and then you can do some surgery like we do in school, or you can just do what Mrs. Bird's doing and find that place. So I'm going to paint that picture for you. Oh, it didn't go blue, did it? Let me fix that again. The sun was shining brightly. One day Lily was playing outside in her treehouse. The sun was shining brightly, and the trees swayed in the wind. Ooh, that's a really good detail. Can you picture that? Does that help you to picture where my story is taking place? Let's see. I don't just need to do this in one place. If your setting changes, you can try it again. So let's see. She was lost. She had no idea where she was. Then Lily remembered her cell phone. I think right here, where she's lost, I could add some more details to describe to my reader what it is that she's seeing. I can really use my senses. So I'm going to close my eyes again and picture my character in the woods. And I picture her looking around, trying to recognize where she is. I'm going to say here, she could hear the crickets. What's the sound that they make? They're kind of like singing, aren't they? Buzzing. She could hear the crickets chirping. I think maybe they chirp. She could hear the crickets chirping. She could hear the crickets chirping. But all she could see was trees everywhere. Oh, that wrong. everywhere. Let me go ahead and make that white so you can see that when it goes off into my blue background. She could hear the crickets chirping, but all she could see was trees everywhere. Oh boy, that is much better, isn't it? So I wonder, oh, look at what I can do here. Okay, thanks for bearing with me, guys. I want to make sure you can see my work here. There we go. Now let's go back and let's read my story again and see if when I added those details about the setting, if it helps you to really picture in your mind my story. One day, Lily was playing outside in her treehouse. The sun was shining brightly and the trees swayed in the wind. She saw a cute little bunny hop by and she decided to follow it. She hopped along after the bunny for about 15 minutes when she realized something terrible. She was lost. She had no idea where she was. She could hear the crickets chirping, but all she could see was trees everywhere. Then Lily remembered her cell phone. She took it out of her pocket and called her dad. Her dad was able to use the GPS to find her. They went home and had a serious talk. Lily promised that she would never wander off into the woods alone again. The end. Wow. Just those few little additions really made a huge difference, don't you think? So, what I want you to do is I want you to read back through your story and find the place where you tell the setting, where your story is taking place. And then I want you to close your eyes and I want you to picture the setting and see if you can add some more details to describe it so that your reader can really picture what it is you're writing about. Okay? That's your job today. In addition to editing, revising, going back to add more to your story, I want you to write at least one more story about your character. And so now you'll have at least two, and that is your work for this week. So by the end of this week, you will have at least two stories about your character. And you're going to keep in mind how you can use details to describe the setting to really bring your character to life. Don't forget, you can print off these if you would like to have a acre chart that you kind of keep with your writing so you can go back and check that you've done these things. Each time that you start a new story, you want to make sure that you are following these steps. Now, you could create a different character and write a whole different story, but I want to tell you where we're going. By the end of this unit, you are going to be an author of series books, which means you're going to pick just one character, maybe your favorite one, and write lots of stories about that character. So you can write another story about the same character or create a different character. It's up to you. Okay, writers? Are you ready to go off and do work that you're proud of? Great job. Mwah. I'll see you next week for more lessons. Bye-bye.